Cuba, that big forbidden island, a surprising country full of friendly, warm people, rich history, and beautiful scenery. It is truly an exotic tropical island that'll take your breath away one day and your freedom on another. That 1,000-mile-long island of Cuba, beautiful mountains, farms, tropical forests, and Caribbean beaches. The surrounding waters of fluorescent blues and greens. Cuba features a lush, fertile countryside broken up by the occasional concrete jungle and civilization, such as historic Havana. Hello, I'm Paul Pruitt, the producer, videographer, and cinematographer for two documentaries, Viva Cuba and Viva Cuba and the Gulf Stream Challenge. Viva Cuba is in production until 2007. The Gulf Stream Challenge is in editing. The promotional edit following these producers' note. Both these promotional edits contain only a few of the thousands of scenes and interviews captured on DV cam and high definition over a period of 5 years of expeditions to Cuba. In addition, I have organized sports expeditions to Cuba with teams of American athletes to capture the world distance record in paddleboarding, crossing the Gulf Stream 112 miles from Havana to Key West. I have traveled back and forth to Cuba by way of numerous sailboats, sometimes just barely making it during storms of winter and summer. The crossing of the raging lion's mouth of the Gulf Stream proved to be just part of the adventures. After meeting many everyday Cubans, I realized Cuba and its people have so much more life and substance that anyone could tell you or that you might read about. Experiencing Cuban life can be captivating. The country is inviting, interesting, passionate, personal, wild, innocent, surprising, and truly amazing. It is abundant with activities and is full of culture and history. Cubans are a proud people, warm and joyful, and refreshing in today's world. Cubans are sad for what their country doesn't have yet, but they're happy for their cultural roots, and they show it. Their history and cultural ways are so strong and deep-rooted that you'll find it woven into every part of Cuban society and life. Traveling parts of the island is often like stepping back in time 100 years ago, before cars and modern-day problems. Every day can be an adventure in time. After years of struggle to get there, with the obstacles of traveling with video cameras in a communist dictatorship, and after capturing some 130 hours of taped interviews and stories over 5 years, I finally realized, yo soy cubano. I am so Cuban. The use of slang and hip sayings in Cuba today is so much like us in America that Cuba puts it on bumper stickers, proudly displaying their feelings. They know life should be so easy, but it isn't in Cuba. Imagine eating rice every meal and going days without simple things like electricity and water. Viewers of these programs will be amazed with the depth of real-life stories and the past history of Cuba, with its unique people, rich with their enjoyment of living, often amidst the sharp pains of economic disparity. The faces, voices, and stories of the people are unique and often fascinating. The culture is so strong that even during the bombardment of American TV and films, some which show late night on one of the Cuban TV stations, plus after exposure to the internet and the theatrical films from around the world, the Cubans still maintain their cultural and religious roots and their profound sense of internal happiness. Still today, you'll see centuries-old traditions side by side with modern conveniences. I have had the rare privilege to meet and interview many of the wonderful people of Cuba. They will inspire and move you when you feel their passion for living and the music, arts, sports, and the physical activities in Cuba. Cuban society includes many artists, craftsmen, authors, and writers and intellectuals, and many will openly share that unique Cuban joy and zest for the arts, which seems to transcend magically many of the difficulties they endure. like this artist who discovered oil paintings with glass panes as a paintbrush, resulting in one-of-a-kind effects. My travels to Cuba have often been accompanying environmental scientists, adventurers, authors, and American university professors. Our quest to better understand the Cuban culture and society has allowed me to find answers to the many questions everyone seems to ask about Cuba. Viewers will learn life in Cuba is unlike anywhere else.